This is rather simple, actually. Present, and we'll go to the autopsy. One knife wound, and you present it. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to the loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth! But I'm the one that figured... What a hunk! He's my hero, really! What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene, right? Oh, thanks! I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying that you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood on her breast, splattered from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Okay. Alright, so now she will add her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene looked. Pressed it. Alright, we're gonna press this one. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't that odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistaken my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Owned? Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance! Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. I wonder... Yeah, come on, shut up about your stupid crap. Alright, so we're gonna go back to that. Present crime photo. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Why is Edgeworth doing my job? Only the true professional could be so clueless. I'm sure you'll make a good lunch lady, have no fear. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but now back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Ooh, she's mad. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabbed the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Apprehending the subject. Okay. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my early testimony. The chief prosecutor had made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. Oh, God, you're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No, thanks. Well, I might be willing. It matters on what kind of bitten we're talking. Note to self: Attorney Wright gets bitten by snakes. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, knocked over an oil drum. Oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Alright. Hold it! You say quickly. You were close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press for more. Yes, you want to press her. I'd like to see this on the floor plan just to be safe. The lunch lady car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that is right. But there was a chain-linked fence in front of you? I went over it, of course. Amazing! The Coffin Queen lunch lady athlete, indeed! It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. How come Miss Sky didn't get away? Hold it! She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? I remembered exactly. If I had remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky! Anyway, all I heard from her was say the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? You mean the cell phone? By phone, you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor at first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Alright, so that's been changed. Press. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing! I only say this one time, so listen closely, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain-link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? There's very something wrong with that. We're going to go ahead and present the floor plans. Objection! I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor, and who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago? Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that was true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe that you saw... I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it! What? What? Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies! Ugh. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Oh, tell us what lie this witness has told at the court. Here's where the contradiction begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about...